Hello and welcome back, ladies and gents. This is, of course, BDLVega, clickstartyourbusiness.com. I do hope we're well. And in this video, we're going to be touching on what I call the 2 loops of death. I know it sounds quite terrifying. When you look at it, it actually is quite terrifying knowing that people are spending their whole lives doing these things and they're looped and there doesn't ever seem to be any kind of escape from them. But in this video, I'm going to be showing you what exactly these 2 loops of death are and how we can escape them. So buckle your seatbelt, guys and girls, we're off on a ride. So there are actually 2 loops of death, and it would make logical sense to start on the first loop of death. So here we go. What is the first loop of death? And it is a series of steps that we take each and every day that loop back on themselves, and we just repeat the same thing over and over again. So what I've highlighted is just something that I used to do when I was working a 9 to 5. And I would see other people do the same thing, and it pains me to see, if I'm honest. So let's start from the top. Here's the steps that I was talking about. Number 1, burning the candle at both ends. So I was up and out the door early to try and get a head start on the work that I couldn't get finished on the previous day of work, and I sort of wanted to get out early so I could miss the traffic. So we were compensating health. We were compensating on our sleep, which means we were compensating on our health. Now, is any job worth doing that? Because our health is the most important thing. You know, what good is anything if we're not healthy? So that leads me on to number 2. Getting stuck in traffic. Now, spending too much time of life being stuck on the road, either on the way to work or on the way home, but perhaps not so much on the way home because of number 3, we worked late. Again, there is too much to get done in a day. So a busy business is a good business, but number 4, a poorly managed company is never good for its staff or its customers and clients. Mismanagement can cause low morale in the workplace. Thus, number 5, a lack of enthusiasm from your work colleagues. When colleagues aren't as passionate or as enthusiastic than those that are, all great efforts can easily be undone by their negative attitude. Now, this negative attitude is picked up by the company's customers and their clients. And that leads me on to number 6, because after all, nobody's getting a lunch break. There's far too much to get done. Taking a lunch break would delay going home on time, but at least the traffic would be missed, right? Ultimately, number 7, there's no time for yourselves. When you're home, you're emotionally and physically drained. Dinner is scoffed down and not enjoyed because it was probably microwaved. It's always better when it's fresh, right? Or perhaps a bit of television to numb the mind a bit. And then bed, because you've got an early start, remember? So with nobody in the office having time to check in with their families and see how they're progressing in life, time to read articles on topics that you're interested in, time to read that book that will help you take your life to the next level, time to get to the gym to see that health is sustained, time to organise around the golf or tennis, let alone play one. No wonder everybody is miserable as sin in the office. Then it's all the way back to number 1 to do it all again. This, my friends, is the first loop of death. So why is it called the first loop of death? Well, there's 2 related loops, and this is the first. And life is to be enjoyed. What has been listed above is not life. If we are spending the majority of our lives at work, then we should make darn sure that we enjoy what it is we are doing. So what is the opposite of life? Yep, you got it in one. This is why it's called the first loop of death. The other will be described very, very shortly. But When Anthony Robbins says, if you're not growing, then you're dying, he's absolutely 100% bang on the money. So what does this mean? Well, as grim as the following sentence is, it is still true. Each moment in time that passes, we are closer to our death. Therefore, what we do between the time of birth and the time of death is key. If we just plod along and get on with the daily routine with the aforementioned first loop of death, then we're just, as the sentence suggests, closer to our death and are effectively dying. But we can change that. We can choose to invest more of our time into growing our mindset, our knowledge, our comfort zone, and our net worth. So trying to escape this loop of death will at first be a task in itself, finding the time to do this because of the loop, obviously. But it will pay off when you actually do it. What you invest initially, you'll get back tenfold. But if you do not, we'll be stuck in the same old loop until, well, we die, unfortunately. And just before we do, we'll have regrets about things we should have done but instead decided not to, and the opportunities we should have taken but also decided not to. You see, I know it works. How? Because I did it. I escaped both loops of death. With the very training that I'm putting in front of you right now, I was able to kickstart my business, and I'm helping people just like you do the same. So you're probably wondering, why do I even care whether or not you're stuck in this loop? And the truth is because I was stuck. I thought I was down and out. I thought this loop was all there was and all there is. I had no degree, therefore I thought I was to be stuck in a job forever with the pay that I was on. So I started looking for other ways to make a living. I knew the internet had the power for me to do that. I just needed the right knowledge, and thankfully I found it, and I'm presenting it to you now. I also knew that my business's success is determined by the amount of value I'm providing to society. Another favourite quote is that of Guy Kawasaki. He was Apple's marketing genius back in the 1980s, and he says, great companies start because they want to change the world, not make a quick buck. And I live and operate my business by this. I absolutely despise the old marketing techniques of hard selling, using NLP techniques and sleight of hand. So with the training I'm presenting to you, I learned how to market ethically on the internet. With this knowledge, I successfully created 2 digital businesses, one of which you see now, clickstartyourbusiness.com, whereby I help people like you kickstart their internet businesses, and my other business, a digital marketing agency called digitalmarketingtools.com. Now you can go ahead and click the link and have a bit of a nose round so you can see what it is that I've built. But the magical thing is, both of these businesses were built from the knowledge passed down by our mentors, Stuart Ross and Jay Kubizak. So by now you're wondering what the hell is the second loop of death, and all shall be revealed. The second loop of death is actually the reason why most people are stuck in the first loop of death. There's no escaping this one. It's more a case of breaking the link in the chain. So here's what I mean. From the beginning. Number 1, you're born and brought up like girls and boys are usually brought up. Number 2, your parents are too busy and are emotionally drained from their work to spend time you need from them. Number 3, your parents are working so hard they want for you to have the best education so you can go and get a degree so you can have a good job when you're older. Number 4, you go to school. You get good grades because you understand how useful your education will be in getting a good job. Number 5, during this time, your parents are still working extremely hard to pay for your education. Number 6, you go to college or university to study what you think will be a good career choice because it pays well and or is helping people or adding value to society. Number 7, your parents are still working as hard as they can so they can keep up with your tuition fees, or there is a student loan issued. Number 8, you also get a part-time job to help pay for your tuition and living costs. Number 9, 3 or 5 or 7 years have passed and you graduate with a degree. Your parents are proud of you and themselves and can now start to relax a bit as you can start paying the student loan back yourself when you find yourself a good job with your newly issued degree. Number 10, you struggle to find a suitable job with a degree you have. You're working a part-time position as a waiter or a waitress earning a very low wage and you're desperate to find a position that's suited for your degree. Number 11, 2 years have passed and you still haven't found a job that suits your degree. The job market is super competitive. Number 12, you finally find a job that is in line with your degree, but you start at entry-level salary and you've still got a lot of student debt and living costs are quite high. Number 13, your parents are still working hard because they'll lose their job if they don't. After all, they both set such a high benchmark for themselves when they were saving for your tuition. Number 14, you find yourself a girl or a boyfriend and start a long-term relationship. Number 15, you're both working very hard and don't have much time for each other. But when you do, you're both so emotionally and physically drained, there's not much enjoyment had. Number 16, you both decide to get married. Number 17, meanwhile, your parents are still working to build their pension. Number 18, you both decide to have a child or 2 or 3. Number 19, 2 years later, you have your first child. Number 20, mum or dad stays at home. The other parent needs to take care of finances, therefore works harder and longer. Number 21, you've now entered into the first loop of death. Number 22, you teach your child that education is important for them to get a good job when they're older. Number 23, the loop starts again with the next generation. As you can see, this loop has been going on for years and years in society and will continue unless a child or a parent will stop and think to break the link and find an alternative route for making a living. And with the internet, there is. You can start a profitable internet business with the tools you have already. All you need is a computer and an internet connection. The following training will allow for you to step out of these loops and live a life whereby A, there's no need for you to get up early to miss traffic or catch up on unfinished work. B, there's no need for you to be stuck in traffic. C, there's no need for you to work in a poorly managed company. D, there's no need for you to work with less enthused colleagues. In fact, you actually get to choose who you work with and who you don't work with. E, there's no need to miss lunch or dinner and you can enjoy it with your loved ones. F, there's time for yourself. You are full of energy and a drive to succeed. You're able to read those articles and books to take your life to the next level. G, there is time to check in with the family and guide them on their progress in life. H, there is time to get to the gym and see that your health is being taken care of. I, there is time to get that round of golf in, or tennis, or whatever it is you're into. You see, the training you'll receive is clear and concise. In it, you'll meet our mentors Stuart Ross and Jay Kubizak. These guys know what they're talking about, and they are changing the world by educating people like you and me on how to pull away from this very broken system that society has unfortunately been stuck in for years. They then go on to explain how we can succeed online with a profitable business. So if you haven't already, go ahead, click the link at the bottom of this article and get £350 worth of online business startup training absolutely free. This is the same training that I received to get me started And I'm glad I did, because there's no looking back for me now. Everything that I've mentioned in this article, I no longer have to worry about. And it's with great pleasure that I'm able to introduce to people how they can actually peel away from that broken system and start something profitable online. So go ahead and click that link, enter your name and email address on the page that you're presented with. You'll then go straight to the training and you'll meet Stuart and Jay, who are changing people's lives. I seriously cannot thank them enough for their introduction. So that's it from me in this one. I'll look forward to making another one of these for you very, very soon. Take care. Good luck. Bye-bye.